jellyfish or they hunt their prey, the pressure that gets put on their tentacles releases those barbed harpoons. So if a person gets stung, if I were to touch one right now, hundreds upon thousands of those barbed harpoons would get into my skin. And that's why if you have a jellyfish stuck on you and you're trying to peel it off, it sticks, because you're literally pulling all those barbs out of your skin. So if you do get stung by a jellyfish, the best way to treat it, honestly, is fresh water. Oh, sorry, seawater. You don't want to put it in fresh water, that makes it worse. And then a credit card too can help if you get it, kind of scrape them off using the side of a credit card. So if you ever get stung, keep that in mind. Now with the jellyfish, some other anatomical features. These guys are super, super basic animals, as you can see, but they're actually kind of complicated because of that. So these guys don't have a nervous system like we do. They have no brain, they've got no bones, no spinal cord, doesn't work like we do. Instead, they have what's called a nerve net, which is, if you picture a fishing net, it kind of looks exactly like that. And at all those little cross junctions of the net is those nerves firing all the time, all the time, all the time, and that allows them to kind of move and float around, as you can see. Now, reproductively speaking, these animals are actually quite active in that sense. They are reproducing literally all the time. So this stage that you are seeing here is called the Medusa Stage. It's their adult stage, and this is where they're able to sexually reproduce. So you can differentiate gender in these animals pretty easily, probably not with these specific ones, but if you look at the top of their bell and it looks kind of orangish, that's a female and there's eggs inside. And if it looks whitish, that's a male for the sperm. So they release both of those into the sea, have the eggs will turn into these little things called polyps, which, have you guys all seen the sea anemones around here? They look exactly like that, just like little sea anemones essentially. And then that life stage will literally clone themselves and reproduce asexually. And they stack on top of each other until there's about 10 individuals there. The top one pops off, flips upside down, and grows, and then becomes that. So when I said that they're reproducing all the time, it's literally all the time, which is kind of cool. So population-wise, they're not really in any sort of danger. Now these animals also have eye spots just along the rim of the bell. So kind of where the, hard to find an example here, where all the junction of the bell to the tentacles are here, there's an eye spot. It's very, very hard to see, and they don't actually function the same way that our eyes do. So these animals can't actually really see anything. They may be able to detect light, but that's being debated currently, so we don't actually know. But the main function of those eye spots is actually to function the same way our ears do. So not in the sense of hearing things, but in human ears, there's a whole bunch of fluid inside with little hairs called cilia. So when you tilt your head side to side, fluid sloshes around and it tells your brain which direction you're facing. Same thing with the jellies and their eye spots. So every time there's one upside down like this, that fluid is sloshing around inside that eye spot, telling the jellyfish that he's upside down. So next time a big wave comes by and crashes into them and they get spiraled around, they know which way's up and which way's down to be able to orient themselves. So that's pretty cool. They have a little bit of cognitive ability there. Now as far as age goes, in nature these animals usually only live to about 1 year because jellyfish grow and die with the bloom and death of plankton in the ocean. So with the changing seasons, these guys will grow and die as that goes. However, here, because there's no predators and they have a continuous source of food, some of the individuals in here actually are over 7 years old. So the oldest jellyfish we have here. And that's kind of like an ongoing little study here at the aquarium, because no one really knows how long jellyfish can physically, biologically live for without predators. So currently we're sitting at over 7 and counting. So we'll see when those oldest ones pass away, we'll kind of get a baseline for what their lifespan is without predators and with all their food around. So conservation-wise, like I said, population numbers, these guys aren't in any sort of trouble. However, in certain countries, jellyfish are consumed as food. They get put in salads and sandwiches and things like that. And there have been individuals that have been found with plastic inside their tummy. So if you're going to try to eat jellyfish, you probably don't want to be eating plastic, just like the turtles don't really want to either. So just something to keep in mind if you're using plastic products to dispose of them properly. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the jellies here. If you do want to watch or be able to see their actual life cycle, the way I talked about all those different stages, If you head straight through that way and go into the Canaccord Exploration Gallery, there's multiple tanks where you can see the different life stages of the jellies. And there's really, really tiny little baby ones swimming around and they're really adorable. So if you want to see those, you can head that way. So I'll stay here for a couple more minutes as these guys continue their feed. And if you have any questions about the jellies, feel free to come up and talk to me about them so I can try and answer that for you. So thank you guys for coming today. My name is Brianna, and have an excellent rest of your stay here at the aquarium. Thank you.